Oh, no. Oh my goodness. Yo, these chairs are sick. Hello everybody, my name is Cade Olaf and welcome to my channel. I'm actually sitting in our new podcast studio for Suburban Real Estate Group. We have been working on this as an idea for a while, and then in like a weekend or two we kind of knocked it out and got really far as the progress. But we still have a lot to do, so I'm not going to highlight it too much because I want it to be a cool surprise for our other channel, for our brokerage. Look, here's a little piece to the pie. We got our mics, so I can act like I'm mic'd up for this video. But it's actually not connected. But isn't that sick? Cool little mics. I'm so stoked. And you may be looking at me wondering what the heck this is, and yes, your boy donated blood today. And to be honest, it didn't really hurt that bad, but the needle was so big. And when they stuck it in me, I was like, oh, that like kind of feels a little uncomfortable. I guess that's okay. And then it really just kind of gets weird when you look at it. So I was like laying back on the pillow, and then I just like looked down and I just see this fat needle sticking out of my arm. So it was pretty gnarly. So anyways, let's get to the point of this video, which is, should you work with a real estate team or go solo? Okay, so you are a brand new agent and you are trying to figure out whether you want to join a team or you want to go solo. There's pros to cons to each, and we're going to be going over those later in the video. But the first question that you should be asking yourself as a new agent is, how am I going to generate leads? And believe it or not, joining a team or going solo has very different ways on how you're going to generate your leads. So first, let's go over the cons of lead generation when you go solo. First, there is upfront costs, and when you go solo, a lot of the times agents are going to be paying for their leads through online lead generation. So this is through Zillow, Trulia, Realtor.com. You can actually pay these services to get you leads. And although it can be cool, it actually costs quite a bit of money. And often as a new agent, you don't really have a ton of money in the first place. That's literally why you're getting into the business. So if you don't have cash saved up to invest in upfront costs for lead gen, then you're going to be either swiping a credit card or you're going to be dipping into your savings. And the second con is that there is a ton of risk when you decide to pay for leads online, and this is actually something that I messed up on. So if you watch one of my previous videos, I go into it. But basically, there is risk when you are trying to convert online leads and you're paying for each of those leads and trying to convert them into a client, into an actual sale where you make money. And so if you have these high upfront costs and you're dealing with online leads that you don't necessarily know how to work, not because you can't do it, it's just because you don't have the experience or the knowledge to convert those potential clients, you are headed into something with a lot of risk, and that's just something to be aware of. And the third con, which is basically circling back to the first, is that they can be very expensive. Like I said, in one of my last videos, I mentioned how I paid, in 6 months, I paid $12,000 and I didn't close one single lead. So with that said, if you are thinking about going solo and you're considering doing these online lead generation, I would highly consider talking to someone in the market who actually is very successful with online leads. So we just went over the cons of lead generation while you go solo, but how are leads handled when you are part of a team? And to be honest with you, it really depends on the team that you end up going with. But on a real estate team, you can most likely ensure that the leads are brought to you in more favorable terms. I've personally seen it before where there is no cost to you as an agent when you're a part of a team in regards to getting leads, so they don't charge you some crazy split or some upfront cost per lead. You just get leads for free, and that's part of their incentivization. I don't know if that's a word, but that's how they incentivize you to become a part of their team, is that they say, hey, we're gonna give you free lead generation. And then there's another way that I've seen, which is transferred costs. So basically basically they'll take a split of your commission when you close on that lead if the team generated you that lead. For instance, let me break this down because it was kind of confusing for me as a new agent. So let's say Cade, I joined a team and I got a lead from that team and I closed on the lead, right? We made the sale. Well, before I got my commission check, let's say 10% of that commission check would go to the team before I received it because the team generated me that potential client that I sold. If I was to go out and find my own client, let's say my network, my sphere of influence, I generated a lead of my own, you would not necessarily have that 10% split on that transaction. So I hope that makes sense. Most teams that I found anyway only will charge you that transferred split if that's their model when they generate the lead for you. If it's a lead that you generate yourself and you close on, you're most likely get whatever the regular cut is to the brokerage. Okay, so now you hopefully better understand how leads are generated between a solo agent and a team. Just a quick recap, when you're a solo agent, it is all on you to generate your own leads. When you are on a team, according to the team or depending on the team, they may generate their own leads for you, and most of the time that's the case. That's the benefit of being on a team, but they may have different little splits within that lead generation. This is aside from what we're going to be talking about now, which is commission splits. So this is also something you need to consider whether going solo or whether joining a team. And the commission split really depends on the brokerage that you go with or that the team you want to go with is a part of. Okay, so you have a brokerage and then you can have a team within that brokerage. So if you join the team may have their own commission splits on top of the brokerage commission split. And then when you are a solo agent, you're going to be under a brokerage, and then that brokerage is going to have their own commission splits that they charge you. So as an individual agent, when you go solo, you're almost always going to have better commission splits than if you were on a team. As a solo agent, you also may have what they call desk fees or office fees that basically just give you access to the brokerage's office so you have a place to work. But these are going to be very small fees. I mean, typically they're anywhere from $50 to $150 a month. So the commission splits for a team are severely different than when you go solo. And again, this all depends on the team that you choose to go with, but pretty much a team is gonna have the same commission splits almost as like a brokerage would, but the team splits tend to be a lot bigger. And the reason for that is because the team has a lot of overhead, right? When they bring you on as an agent, that cost them money to hang your license, marketing, lead generation. The team has to pay for all these things. So when they bring you on, the team is going to make sure that they're getting their cut every time you sell a house because they have all this overhead to bring you on and to make sure everyone is getting deals. So what I have found with many of the teams I've interviewed with previously is that all things considered, let's say you get a lead generated from the team, you close on that lead, all in all, you're working with around 50% of your commission is what you're going to receive. Okay, so you as a new agent need to heavily consider if being a part of a team and maintaining and getting a ton of leads and being able to close on leads is worth 50% of your commission check. Now, some teams I have interviewed with, they do have different models, right? They could have potentially a salary model, so you do get a salary. I've seen models where they do straight commission, but they take a certain cut every month. So there's a ton of different structures out there. And again, it just depends on the team. But typically what I have found is that on a team, again, this team is guaranteeing you leads, right? But it's up to you to convert those leads. A lot of them are gonna be 50% commission at the end of the day. So you're gonna sell a house, let's say you make 10 grand commission, you're looking at 5 grand is what you're actually gonna get because the team is gonna take their cut. Now, what about a commission split for a solo agent with a brokerage? Well, depending on the brokerage, again, a typical kind of brokerage model is like a 70-30 split. So you as the agent get 70%, the brokerage gets 30. You can even see upwards of 80 to 20. And some brokerages even have the 100% commission model, and then they have all their little office fees and other transaction fees, if you will. But all things considered, I will say this: whether you join a team or whether you go solo, you need to interview your brokerage. This is gonna be the place where you hang your license. This is gonna be the company that you represent. And if you don't feel comfortable with the commission splits that you're gonna be getting with that brokerage, you're not gonna be confident selling houses, going to listing appointments, showing buyers around homes, because you hate your commission splits and you're like, the money is crap, and you're just gonna be unmotivated. You're gonna be unmotivated. So you need to make sure that regardless of what route you choose, that it works for you, that you're comfortable with it, and that you feel confident. Because I'm telling you right now, if you are working your butt off, and then you get that small little commission check because of all these little cuts that came out of it, you're gonna be pissed, and it's gonna suck, and it's gonna be one of your first deals, you know, and you only get that small amount of money. So make sure that when you're interviewing these brokerages or these teams, you make sure you know what you're getting into. You ask the right questions. And some of the good questions you could ask are, what can I expect being part of this team? How many leads can I expect to get every single week? How quickly do agents who come aboard on this team or this brokerage, how quickly do they start doing deals, right? These are questions that you need to ask, because at the end of the day, they're hiring you, but you're also hiring them. And so you need to ask those questions, and you need to be on the same page when it comes to your pay. Alright everybody, so that's going to do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the content and you found it somewhat valuable, I'm gonna ask you to do 2 things, 3 things, 4 things, 3 things. Let's do 3 things. It's been a minute since I filmed a video. First, I'm gonna ask you to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and comment down below what your favorite tip was and what you took away from this video. Again, guys, thank you so much for watching. My name is Cade Olaf, and I will see you in the next one.